welcome to episode 52. Oh, it's our 1 year anniversary.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is exactly 1 year from today. We did Die Hard, the premiere.
That's right. All right, welcome to the franchise. I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg.
I'm your co-host, Henry Papali. Welcome, folks.
And today, we'll be closing out the old Alien sextilogy.
That's true.
Yeah, with Ridley Scott's return to the franchise, Prometheus, and its sequel, Alien Covenant, currently in theaters.
Yeah.
That's right. Hank got me to go to the multiplex.
Yeah, it's the first time we've done that for the show. You're welcome.
It's only the fourth movie I've seen in theaters this year, but that's still more than I've seen in recent years. Yeah. This year I've seen Jim Jarmusch's Patterson, Terrence Malick's Song to Song, Get Out twice, and now Alien Covenant.
And you saw Guardians.
Yeah,
right?
but that was after. I saw that yesterday. So, hey, I'm returning to the multiplex.
Look at you.
It's happening.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Was Jim Jarmusch's film really in the multiplex?
No, it was at Nighthawk Cinemas.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Malik's was too. Yeah, the next movie I see in theaters will almost certainly be Dean Devlin's Geostorm.
Don't even know what that is.
Yo, Dean Devlin breaking off from Roland Emmerich. You know, it's his producer.
Oh.
And
I know the name now that he's connected with him.
Yeah, Dean Devs. He is breaking off, making his own movie. Geostorm takes place in the future. Weather's going insane. Buildings are falling down. There's tidal waves. There's tornadoes. I'm there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're in, I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know I love them. Buildings, falling down movies. My second favorite genre.
Yeah, it's true.
After people trapped together movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people trapped together movies these days.
Some of the best. I am looking forward to the new Murder on the Orient Express. That's a great people trapped together movie.
Who's doing that again?
Is it Kenneth Branagh?
Oh, really?
I think. I might be wrong about that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Let's get into Prometheus.
Yeah.
There's plenty to talk about with this one.
Yes.
Ridley Scott's back. Our old friend, Scott-Free Productions. You know, he took a break from producing The Good Wife, made Prometheus. And writing credits here go to John Spates, but more importantly, Damon Lindelof. I
knew you'd be excited about that.
Yeah. And I say that because Prometheus feels like a product of Damon Lindelof. I think it's the only Alien movie where I sense the writer. Yeah.
Okay.
So Damon Lindelof, famously the co-creator of Lost and The Leftovers.
Oh, phenomenal. Season finale tonight.
Series finale tonight.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
He's one of my favorite writers for television. He's had less success in the cinemas, but I think Prometheus is the film he's written that most feels like a Damon Lindelof thing.
Tell me how. Tell me why.
You know, it's ponderous, which sounds like a bad thing, but I enjoy it.
No, not to me.
Yeah, it's thoughtful. It's character-based at the expense of action. Mm-hmm. It has a character who's having trouble getting pregnant. That's a Damon Lindelof special.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lost and The Leftovers, big time.
Oh, okay. I didn't, but I don't remember the Lost thing. But yeah, okay.
Well, do you remember you couldn't give birth on the island?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a thing. Parental issues is a thing. A lot of stuff, and he loves thinking about the big questions, the beginning of time. How did we get here? That sort of thing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
All right.
so that's Lindelof, man. You know,
Okay.
Lost and The Leftovers were steeped in religion and science versus religion. There was the whole
Yeah.
man of science, man of faith debate between
Sure.
Jack and Locke on Lost, and
Okay.
you really get that in Prometheus.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Um,
Um,
this film was released June 8th, 2012. It was marketed as an Alien sequel. Or prequel. I remember that. Like, I remember people being excited about it.
I was excited about it, and for whatever reason, I didn't get around to seeing it in the theater, and I don't even remember why. Yeah.
Might have been a rough summer.
Yeah.
Was this the year we were living together?
Yeah, I had a lot going on that year.
Yeah, that was a rough one for
Probably
you.
why. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I probably didn't make it to the cinema. That's the year later, about 6 months later, I moved.
Yeah, you managed Dark Knight Rises that summer. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always got time for Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Budget of $130 million. Okay. Box office 403.4. So this was a hit.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was a bigger hit than I expected it to be. I wondered whether it would tank when it came out.
Yeah. Well, with a title like Prometheus and people not realizing that it might be an alien thing.
Yeah, the original title was Alien Paradise. Alien Paradise Lost. Was that it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, but I didn't remember if that was the original title for this or for the Covenant. But,
Oh, that was Covenant. I think the original title for this was Paradise, just Paradise without the alien. And then it was
Right.
changed to Prometheus. So Ridley Scott keeps trying to shoehorn that word into his title, and no one wants it.
And this was one of those few movies that I bought sight unseen on Blu-ray, and was very, very happy with my purchase, to the point when Dan came to visit me the following summer.
Forced me to watch it.
Forced you to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'll tell you what. I watched this movie for the podcast this week. I barely remembered it.
Yeah, I figured that was several years ago.
And I was drinking.
Yeah, we both were.
Yeah.
But
you were not.
I was drinking a little bit. Remember?
Okay. You had like one beer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You had a little bit more.
Yeah. And I was also very tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I fell asleep a couple times.
You did. I kept waking you up.
Yeah.
I kept saying, "Do you want me to turn it off?" And you were like, "No. Let's keep going." I'm like,
Not
"All right."
the fault of the movie. I was into the movie. I was just having trouble staying awake, and you were also pausing it a lot to explain alien stuff to me.
Yeah, there was definitely 2 or 3 times where I paused.
2 or 3.
I think it was only 2 or 3. Because
No.
I remember 2 or 3 moments that I did that in. I think after you were starting to nod off, I gave up. But full disclosure, that is annoying when people do that.
I don't find it that annoying. I find it annoying sometimes. You know what I actually like is when I've seen something before and people do that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because then I can take it in better.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Prometheus. And I am Prometheus. I enjoyed the movie. I'm somewhat alien confident. We'll get to that.
Oh! Wow. The punster over here.
Yeah.
And I want a word about the music.
Wait, I'm not done with the stats. Can I just finish this?
Oh, I thought you were. Yeah.
No.
Oh, right. No, of course not. The ranking and all that shit.
Yeah. It was number 24 in the box office. Just ahead of Safe House and The Vow. Nicholas Sparks is The Vow. But right below 2 of the big Oscar movies that year, Silver Linings Playbook and Argo.
Oh.
Say it with me.
Argo,
fuck yourself. Oh, what a lovely film. Still got that Live by Night on my Netflix queue. No one
So
gave a
do
shit
I.
about that. Yeah.
I keep pushing it down.
No, it's around like the 5th slot now. It's gonna be watched.
Yeah, I put that on
yeah.
there, and I just kind of like,
I'll see it. I'll see it. I promise you, Ben. I'll check it out. Ben Affleck listens to this podcast, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. It was nominated for 1 Oscar, lost Best Visual Effects to Life of Pi. I didn't see Life of Pi, did you?
Yeah, I did.
I'll tell you what. All I knew about Life of Pi was that there's a tiger in it.
Yeah.
And I would normally want to see it, but it's a CG tiger, so it's less cute. I did randomly this week. I was listening to a podcast that described the whole plot of Life of Pi very quickly, including the twist, of which I did not know there was one.
Oh yeah, right.
And people liked that movie.
Well, I saw that movie on DVD, and I was really prepared to not like it, but it was good. I'll never see it again.
Sounds stupid to me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never watch it again. But the fact that it lost visual effects to this is astonishing, because I mean, we'll get into it, but I think that the visual effects in this movie, no matter what you actually think of the movie, are some of the greatest I've ever seen.
I've got a problem with the engineers.
Okay.
They look silly to me.
Well, that's less visual effects and more just kind of makeup and creature design, right?
I think is that a person in that suit?
Yes.
I thought that was a CG creation.
No, believe me, my friend, I've watched all 7 hours of the extras on the Blu-ray.
You maniac. You should be put away for that.
What were the number top 5 of that year, 2012?
It's on your list?
I don't have a list for 2012.
Oh, I don't either. I think I made one at the time because I know I have Cabin on the Woods on it, but but yeah, I don't have one either. Anyway, what did you say it was in the top 5 of though?
No, I asked you what was the top 5 for 2012.
Oh, I don't fucking know. You want me to look that up? Probably Dark Knight Rises, right?
You don't have to look it up. I thought you usually do, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was something we covered already because I think the Hunger Games was on there.
The Hunger Games, Dark Knight Rises, the Avengers.
Avengers was number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you want to do the plot? Do you want me to?
I'll do the plot for this. You do the plot for Covenant.
Fine.
We both know why that is.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, Prometheus. Starting out, we have a team of archaeologists, mainly Dr. Elizabeth Shaw and Dr. Holloway, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah, say the actors. I'm never going to remember these fucking character names.
Noomi Rapace and Logan Marshall Green.
Okay, so for you newcomers, Noomi Rapace, obviously from the Swedish versions of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies, and Logan Marshall Green, all my pals out there know as Trey, Ryan's brother on the OC.
But oddly, he got this role from something he did on an off Broadway thing where Scott had heard about him and gave him an audition.
All right.
I don't think Scott watches the OC.
Resurrected his career. You never know, man. Ridley Scott produces shitty TV sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Maybe he's friends with McG.
That's good. That would be a pairing.
Yeah.
So in the year 2089.
Oh, God.
Which honestly, I can appreciate because it's not too far away. That's just 70 years away, 70, 80 years away. I'm not, it doesn't like throw me off board there right away, you know? It's not like Alien Resurrection where we're, who the fuck knows how many, we're
I know.
4,000 years. So they discover a star map in a Scotland cave in the Isle of Skye where our two-time guest Aaron Farinelli just got back from.
Soon to be 3-time guest, hopefully. Gotta
Yes.
have him back.
Yes, he has agreed to pick a summer franchise. I forgot to tell you.
Good.
Yeah. So they discover a star map, and Shaw believes that these maps dating back to BC, many years before, a few thousand years, all these like 7 different caves all have murals of giants pointing to the stars, and since they're all look like the same constellation, Shaw believes that they are drawn by people who have met their makers, and so she wants to travel into space and go to this galaxy, this constellation, where these engineers, as they're called, have essentially made us. And actually, I skipped the opening scene, which shows one of these engineers beginning life on Earth by sacrificing himself and donating his DNA to ostensibly start evolution.
I don't need it.
Well, I'm just saying that's what the plot is.
Well, I'm just saying I don't need anything before they're on that ship.
Yeah, well, I do. I like it. I think that's part of the whole point.
All right.
What are you talking about? So they go on the voyage. They're in cryostasis. You get some really cool scenes. I love the scenes with the android by himself.
I love them too.
By the great Michael Fassbender.
And an amazing music choice, probably my favorite piece of classical piano ever. That's in this, right?
Yeah, the Raindrop Prelude by Chopin.
Correct. Yeah. I fucking adore that piece. I used to listen to it every night. I went through a period where I listened to that every night in bed.
It's a great piece of music.
And it's nice to see here. It's maybe overused sometimes, but it's used really well here. And Fassbender killing it all over this movie. And Covenant.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah. And he's basically manning the ship and watching Lawrence of Arabia and throwing basketballs on a bicycle. And
which leads me to my next question, Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins in a one-on-one game of basketball, David or Clone Ripley?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd say probably David for accuracy, but Ripley probably would do a lot of checking.
yeah. And she'd probably do a lot of sweet tricks. It would be right. You know, David would be like Bill Russell or something, and she'd be like a Harlem Globetrotter.
David's the John Stockton. She'd be like the Michael Jordan. There you go.
Yeah. Well, mine was funnier. Yours is more accurate.
Yeah.
All right.
And dated. Mine was more dated.
Well, I said Bill Russell, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he's Steph Curry.
Yeah. Bill, all right, let's keep going. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
So they secure financing from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation.
No.
Yes.
Just Weyland.
Well, it's the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Peter Weyland is now the main guy, but it's the Weyland. It still says Weyland-Yutani.
I didn't see Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask you about this, if that was like a big mystery to alien nerds. Like, ooh, I hope in the next alien movie they tell us how Yutani merged.
Not that I recall. As far as I recall, when they watched the hologram of Guy Pearce, there's a voiceover and an icon saying Weyland-Yutani building better worlds.
I believe it was just Weyland.
You're wrong, but I like Elizabeth Shaw, you are entitled to believe what you want.
Okay.
Or as your favorite actor Patrick Wilson says.
What does he say?
Because why do they die? Why do they go to heaven?
In what?
In Prometheus, in her little dream sequence that Michael Fassbender's sneaking, creeping on her dreams. Remember that in the beginning?
Patrick Wilson's in that?
He's her father.
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
and
that's right. Those flashbacks. Sorry, I
Right.
watched this like a week ago.
yeah, and he's
Um,
like, because that's what I choose to believe.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I've turned a little bit of a corner with Patrick Wilson. I enjoy Patrick Wilson now.
I think you should. I've never quite understood your hatred. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with Watchmen.
Part of it, though, is while I love the Little Children movie,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that book by Tom Perrotta, and I wanted someone maybe like less handsome with slightly
Yeah.
more charisma in the role.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think when I read that book, I pictured Peter Krause, and
Oh wow, that I could see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he was a disappointing choice for that movie, and I've judged him since.
I
But
see.
at this point, I've liked him in enough stuff. Notably, the what are those fucking movies? The somethings with Vera Farmiga.
Oh, The Conjurings.
The Conjurings. I liked him in those, and I liked him on his couple episodes of Girls, and yeah, I think Patrick Wilson's pretty good.
He's fine.
Yeah.
So really, they get the ship. Let's long ponderous story short. They get on the ship. They find the planet LV-223. No, not the same planet as in Alien. That's LV-426. In case you
For
were wondering.
fuck's sake.
Well, I thought you might wonder that.
I
didn't
did
know.
wonder, but I didn't
It's
care
not
that much.
It's not the same place.
All right.
And so they land the ship, and they start looking for the engineers, and they find them, but they also find a lot of very bad biological experiments going on, and everything goes to shit. But for the first 60 minutes, it is, I believe, masterfully directed and written by Lindelof and Scott, and masterfully, and it's because it's just a whole lot of really not much action. Which note to Ridley Scott for Alien, whatever follows Covenant.
Yeah.
That's okay, Ridley. You were just fine. You didn't need to. We'll get to it, but I mean, yeah, I was reading all this stuff about how he was listening to all the disappointed fans, and so he ramped it up for Alien Covenant, and because all the fans were disappointed in the ponderousness and the questions and the lack of action, and I just say fuck you to that. This movie is just fine where it's going in that first hour, and then I don't know how you can argue that the last hour isn't thrilling. I don't get it. But anyway. There's more to that. We'll get into the characters and the cast. The whole cast is great, I think. No?
No. But
Tell
mostly.
me, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know. Who else? I mean, Fassbender's great. Who's in this movie?
Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah. Charlize Theron's really good. Idris Elba's really good.
Yeah.
My possible problem is with the main two. Noomi Rapace and Logan Marshall Green.
I can see where you might be going with Logan Marshall Green. You lost me at Noomi Rapace, but go ahead.
I don't know that she's a film lead. I like her in some scenes in this movie, and then when you try to make her... I think she's better in the action stuff than in smaller moments. And part of that, I don't know... It reminds me a little bit of The Bourne Identity. When Run Lola Run was a really big, it was a really big indie hit, and then Doug Liman decided Franca Potente, the German star of that film, could be the female lead in Bourne. And I think she's good, but there's a little bit of a disconnect. She's a little bit cold. She's a little bit... And I don't know if it's a language barrier or what. But the performance I want from her is not there. I felt that way in The Bourne Identity, and I felt very similarly in this. That being said, there are moments in the movie where I think she's great. when she gets fucking impregnated and goes into that weird surgery bay.
Yeah.
To get like fucking surgery, like to get like basically an abortion.
A cesarean.
Yeah, a cesarean, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a little octo thing, inside her, octo baby. That she's great in that.
Yeah.
I think she handles the terror really well.
Yes.
I don't know about her. I think the scene between her and her boyfriend Logan Marshall Green, where they're talking about her not being able to get pregnant in their like sleep pod or whatever, in their bedroom basically.
You didn't like that?
I thought it was well written, and I didn't feel the performances were there.
Interesting.
It felt a little bit amateur hour to me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And notice I'm not really arguing that. You're making me think a little bit about that. Yeah. But overall, I think it's a 90%, 10% negative performance.
I don't disagree. I just mean like the performances in this movie aren't unimpeachable, except for the main three. I mean, how could you argue? Fassbender, to me, is an unimpeachable actor. I love him.
I agree.
In everything I see him in.
I think he's my top 5 current working of the young generation actors.
Is he young generation? He's in his 40s.
What I mean by that is like when we say directors, how we say Fincher, I'm not including like De Niro and.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd have to come up with that list, but he's certainly a contender.
Yeah.
And Charlize Theron is an actress that it was hard for me to wrap my brain around her for a really long time.
I agree.
And I think it's mostly because of her choices in movies. Like, is she good in North Country? I can't tell. What a slog that was.
I didn't see.
Things like that. Monster, I don't know. But I turned a corner on her ever since that fucking Young Adult.
That's great, that movie. Yeah.
And now I love her.
Yeah.
And she's great in this. And I think Idris Elba just put him in everything.
I know, I agree, man. He's just fucking great.
Yeah.
He really is great. He's not given much of
He's not given enough to do.
Right, and there's actually, sorry to nerd out on you, but I think you would appreciate, there's actually a deleted scene between him and Charlize Theron, which I wish they would have left in. It was only a few minutes, and it's fucking fantastic, and it gives his entire character a backstory. Because they have sex.
Well, we see them flirting, which is a great scene.
Well, they go have sex. I mean, she says...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, there's a deleted scene in the post-coital aspect of that, and he tells her about, like, being in wars and his, like, war-weary persona about, and also explains how he knows that they're on a planet that's basically like a military installation. So it actually gives him a lot more, even more humanity than he's able to bring to it, which I think he brings a lot in his kind of turnaround.
Sure.
Without much dialogue, but he's just great. And I want to make a note too that I love the little comic relief. I think it's very brief and very tense, but I love the little duo of Fifield and Milburn, the two who get lost in the tunnel, the crazy Scottish guy and
that's fine,
and the English guy who's putting on an excellent American accent, and they're good. That actor, by the way, Sean Harris, who plays Fifield with the crazy mohawk.
Yeah.
You're not going to know either thing I'm talking about, but he's a very good actor. He was in the Michael Fassbender Macbeth, which you really should see. He plays Macduff, and he's fantastic. And he was also in the British show Southcliffe.
Okay.
And he's great in that.
Sounds good.
It's only 4 episodes long, Southcliffe, if anyone's interested. It's on Netflix.
All right.
Self-contained little show. Anyway, yeah, so continue.
Where was I?
I don't know. The actors.
Oh yeah.
What happens? What do you think of the action? The thought. What do you think of like all the pondering and all that? Did it bother you? The philosophizing and all that. I know it bothered a lot of people.
It super doesn't. I don't understand these people.
Well, they don't want to think. And I don't mean to sound pretentious, and it does. I can't help it. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because literally, really coming from me as a moviegoer, I generally hate this kind of shit. I really don't get into the whole science and religion thing. Sometimes I think it's done when they do it in movies. I think it's very clunky and not thoughtful. And just very shallow, and I don't think it is in this. I mean, and I mean, talk about ambitious. I mean, this fucking movie is basically positing of course, it's ludicrous if you believe in science, but suspend your disbelief. And so we're created by these engineers who, by the way, I also found it fascinating, and I didn't catch this on a first viewing. But there's like a great little throwaway moment when they find the body of the engineer and they date it like Logan Marshall Green hands Noomi Rapace like a little carbon dater because they're trying to figure out how old the body is. And she goes, it's at least 2,000 years old, which was fascinating to me because the whole premise is the engineers were ready to weaponize this thing to wipe out, come back to Earth, and destroy humanity, right? Mm-hmm. So you kind of automatically, your mind goes to, well, yeah, I get it. They've seen World War II. They've seen what we do to ourselves. But these guys were ready to wipe us out 2,000 years ago, which is like they've seen enough Christ or whatever. So that's kind of a nice little touch, I thought. Like, enough war and horrible shit has happened that they're ready to wipe us out already. And I thought that was a neat little thing.
Sure, man. That was well said.
Thank you.
Look, it's weird because it's not a movie; it's a film.
I appreciate you saying that. I agree.
I think Prometheus really has something to say here, and I almost wish it was divorced from the Alien franchise. Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, but I think like if it had nothing to do with Alien, like it might have gotten some attention, like from critics.
Yeah. Well, some critics did really, really like it, but I know what you're saying.
Some critics hated it. I remember like
yeah.
Like even I was reading the Hollywood Reporter's review of Alien Covenant. And they were talking about it like no problem, like, oh, this is clearly a return to form for the franchise.
I'm really tired of seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of like critics that I generally read kept saying about Covenant, a return to form, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, I don't know. Prometheus. I mean, Ebert gave it 4 out of 4.
Yeah, well, but Ebert gave a lot of things 4 out of 4 toward the end of his life. Ebert gave Knowing with Nicolas Cage 4 out of 4.
Did he really?
Yeah.
You think I was just kind of like, he's just really enjoying going to well-made movies type of thing?
Yep, just picture him with no jaw and a thumb up. That was him. That was him at the end of his life.
You are a horrible person.
But it's true.
But there were critics who liked the movie. Jesus Christ! But you're right. I mean, it was. I don't know what its rating is. It's like what in the 60s or some shit. I don't pay attention to much of that sometimes. But it's not a hated movie. It doesn't hold like one of those 20 or 18% on.
No. It got mixed reviews.
Right. That's how it's.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want a fun, weird sci-fi movie, it's good on that level too. There's awesome, weird facehugger snakes and cool eggy guys, and
I mean, once Fifield and Milburn get lost, and then that amazing sequence of that storm.
That's baller.
I mean, there's no looking back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it.
And when they shoot Logan Marshall Green outside the thing,
Oh my God!
it's real good.
It's incredible, and I mean, it's astonishing, and really, really good job of up until Fassbender spikes his drink.
Mm.
Really good job of really not knowing where that android stands. Like, whereas in kind of like the first Alien, if you've never seen it, which is hard for me to even remember what I thought at the time, but where you're not supposed to know quite where Ash is. But by Aliens, it's very established that Bishop is a good guy the whole way. And so then in this one, you don't know really. I mean, there's some great moments where he's got a sarcasm to him, and Michael Fassbender plays it as though he is clearly annoyed by the ignorance of the human. Like I absolutely love, and this is another thing. I don't think I've said this in 52 episodes. This is a very cultured movie.
Oh,
like, it is, because the other thing I wanted to point out, I'm entering real snob territory here, but we'll get to that in one of our reviews at the end of the episode. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
I love when they have that kind of hologram screen and they're like just sending transmissions out, and you see a picture of Beethoven and the Mona Lisa and Abraham Lincoln and a violinist playing a piece of classical music, which I can't remember now. And so it's kind of like that is what you would send out if you were trying to represent what Earth has created. And I'm looking at you, Apollo 13, when I see like movies and they get into space and like the first thing they do is like, put on that Beatles record, man.
But isn't that what we did do? Like, we did send out like a pulse into space at one point, and there was the Beatles in it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But my point is, I appreciate that we're going a little bit more for like the greatest human beings who are representative of the great things that we can accomplish. And that's not like, if I was shot into space, I don't think I'd play Back in Black.
I might play A Day in the Life.
Okay, all right. You know, I just think it's a great touch. It's subtle. They don't dwell on it. It's just like in the background, and then they show David learning like fucking Sanskrit. You know, it's a very thoughtful movie. It's like, how would he communicate if they meet the engineers? And he's learning like the earliest language known to man. And by the way, little funny side note, I saw an interview with Fassbender who Ridley Scott made him memorize like fucking 30 pages of like that ancient language.
That's annoying.
And and they got to yell action, and he like learned the whole thing, and they show him say one sentence, and he was like, "Oh, you know, I was a little bit peeved at that. I had to learn 30 pages of Sanskrit, and they threw in 10 seconds of it."
Is that what Michael Fassbender sounds like?
Irish. Yeah. Huh. That's nothing what he sounds like, but that's an Irish accent.
Okay.
He's very good at accents, by the way. Yeah.
I have a question. Guy Pearce is in this movie.
Yeah.
In old age makeup.
Yeah.
We never see him not in old age makeup.
That was cut.
Why would you cast Guy Pearce if you're only going to show him in old age makeup?
It wasn't the intention. He was given a big scene where he's at a TED conference, and they show him as a young man talking about what he's going to do in space and android development, and so they cut the fucking scene.
It's incredibly distracting.
Well, they were originally going to get our old friend Max von, help me with the last name.
Sydow.
I never say it right. Sydow. And they, I guess, realized they couldn't quite make him look even older. Cause I guess the idea was they wanted this guy to look like he lived to be like, he was like 100 years old. And I don't know.
I think Max von Sydow could pull that off.
Yeah. It didn't bother me.
It bothers me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It bothers me big time.
All right.
And I like Guy Pearce as an actor. I just don't know what the fuck he's doing in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird in the context of the version that you get, which is the version. I'm not going for any of this typical Ridley Scott, 1,000 fucking cut bullshit. But but anyway, yeah. But I think he's good. It's bizarre. I kind of liked it because it's bizarre looking, and it just kind of fits in with the weirdness of the whole thing.
I guess whatever.
Yeah.
I have a rare note that I don't remember why I wrote it. Can you explain this to me?
I can.
Chest burster jamboree.
Chest burster jamboree.
Yeah.
Well, there's a chest burster at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I remember that. Is that why I wrote it? Why would I write jamboree?
I don't know. I mean, it comes out of the engineer, which is essentially Elizabeth Shaw's child. I don't know what you meant by that because I don't remember like a bunch of other chest bursters dancing around to music or anything.
I don't know, man.
Maybe is there a Jimmy Buffett sequence in there that I'm forgetting?
It's possible.
Maybe they should have played Jimmy Buffett to communicate with the Martians.
Yeah.
So Margaritaville.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, how does the movie look to you with cinematography?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't like some of the special effects as much as you do, but it's a gorgeous movie.
It's by Dariusz Wolski, who this is his best thing he shot.
Okay. What else has he shot?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Now, no, he shot some beautiful looking movies. They're just not movies that I love, but they're beautiful looking, and I actually think you do love one of them, The Crow.
I love that movie.
Dark City, critic and fan favorite.
Yeah, that's a beautiful movie.
Yes, it is. Then he did a whole bunch of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sure.
And then he liked shooting Johnny Depp in makeup so much he did Sweeney Todd and Alice in Wonderland.
That's great looking too.
And then he did 4 more Ridley Scott films. He did The Counselor, Exodus, Gods and Kings, The Martian, and Covenant.
I like this guy.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
The composer, I want to get to that, has really done nothing of any good, of any value. But
what's his name?
Mark Streitenfeld, but I love the score to this movie.
Right.
I think it's very atmospheric. He's done a bunch of Ridley Scott movies prior to this, not since.
I want to... You know what I think would have worked in this movie because it feels so Damon Lindelof-y to me?
What?
I kind of wish they would have gotten Michael Giacchino.
Too bombastic.
No. He's bombastic only because now he's working on J.J. Abrams movies.
Right.
So he's like only doing Star Trek and Star Wars.
Right.
But his work on Lost was a lot more tender and quiet. I think he would have been great.
But but did you like the score?
I was indifferent.
Oh yeah, not me. I thought he handled the eeriness of the quiet, high violins in the space, in outer space, and then at the end when Yannick sacrifices himself in the ship, he really amps up a la James Horner style. I thought that was very powerful. So he really pulls out his A game here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I did want to say I think Noomi Rapace is phenomenal in this movie, and we're going to segue soon, and I was very disappointed that she was not back for the sequel to this prequel.
I was too, and I didn't really understand why.
Well, yeah, I think she's very powerful. I think she does hold her own on the screen, and I think she's a good action heroine. And I guess eventually, I was thinking about this morning. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is kind of a franchise, man.
Yeah.
And it's foreign. And it's foreign, which we haven't done yet.
That's true. We could dragon tattoo it.
And we got the Fincher one.
Sure.
But anyway, so we might come back to her. But, yeah, I don't know. What else you got to say? Anything more about this film? No? Okay. I mean, I could really go on and on. I think I've talked enough on this one. I absolutely love this movie. We're going to be doing rankings today.
Yeah. Can we include the AVP movies in our rankings?
I don't know if that's legally part
I
of
think we should do it.
in our contract.
Yeah.
Boy, then you're going to throw me off. I'd have to like rewrite my thing. Or maybe I wouldn't.
All right.
Anyway,
Hey.
I got. All right. I want to do. What do you want to do? I got a superhero count.
Yeah, give me that.
All right. I got 6.
Jesus, and it's a small cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got Michael Fassbender, who is Magneto.
True, in those X-Men movies.
We got Idris Elba, who is Heimdall in the Thor movies.
That is true, yeah. Also not given enough to do in those movies. I feel like anytime Idris Elba's in like a really big movie, it's nice to see him, but you got Idris Elba. Give him some shit.
Well, I saw a preview last night. He's in some new survival movie with Kate Winslet where it's just the two of them in the mountains.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Idris Elba was also in Ghost Rider 2.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Isn't that great?
Sure,
Yeah.
directed by my old friends from Crank.
That's right.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce, of course, Iron Man 3.
Sure, and Mildred Pierce. That's a superhero movie, right?
Speaking of Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Logan Marshall Green will be in the upcoming Spider-Man movie, Homecoming. Playing
yeah.
playing Shocker 2. I was hoping you could explain. I don't know what that means.
I mean, I know the character Shocker from Spider-Man.
Well, that's him.
I also know the sexual move Shocker.
But do you know the sexual move sequel, Shocker 2?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you do it with 2 fingers in each.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Benedict Wong.
Yeah, oh, he's Wong from
That's right.
Doctor Strange. I just watched that, yeah.
Right. And, of course, your buddy and mine, Patrick Wilson.
Oh,
Night
sure,
Owl.
Night Owl, yeah.
And
I was going to bring up Watchmen. I have a theory that Ridley Scott really liked Zack Snyder's Watchmen movie.
really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I think that the engineers in Prometheus look exactly like Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
Huh. Well, he likes Billy Crudup.
That's what I'm going to say. And Patrick Wilson shows up in Prometheus, and Billy Crudup shows up in Alien Covenant.
Maybe there you go. I don't know.
I think Ridley is a Zack fan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
And our thoughts and prayers go out to Zack's family.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
That's some rough stuff.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
Seriously.
We're rooting for you, buddy. He was kind of a weirdo on this podcast, but not in a bad way. Brett Ratner was a dick. Zack
Right.
Snyder was a lovable weirdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And we'll have him back. I'll text him when we're doing 300.
Okay, hopefully we'll do that with enough distance from this tragedy that he can be funny again.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to make sure he's himself.
Yes.
Yeah. And Patrick Wilson is playing Ocean Master in the upcoming Aquaman film.
Ugh, that's going to be terrible.
Probably.
Ocean Master. But Hank saw Wonder Woman, so...
And it was great.
Hey, DC Universe is on an upswing.
It was great, audience. Wonder Woman, go see it. It was fucking great. And little did I know Patrick Wilson play Who Could Care. I would say Dan's phrase, who could care, who could notice. But apparently Patrick Wilson's fucking voice was in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice as the president.
Good Lord. Man, well, hey, Zach's loyal.
He sure
He brings
is.
his cast members back.
He sure is.
Yeah.
All right, MVP, LVP.
MVP is Fassbender. No,
me,
you know what? MVP Damon Lindelof.
That's totally fair. I have a tie.
Okay.
Because I love this movie so much, I couldn't. My tie is Ridley Scott for really coming back strong, despite all the movies that were like we discussed the first week of Alien that are like watchable and good.
Yeah.
This, critics, is a return to form.
I agree.
and tied with Noomi Rapace, who I think is fucking great.
Okay.
I don't have an LVP. I can think of one if you can.
I'm
on board, maybe.
I'll go with Logan Marshall Green. He's a little bit lightweight for this movie. As much as I love Trey from the OC, I don't know. He's
a little fratty.
Yeah, a little bit. He's broy.
He's a little bit of a bra. And
Yeah.
He's supposed to be an archaeologist, so.
I know. It's not great.
Stars?
I'm going to go with 4.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm going 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Alien Covenant. Currently in theaters. It was released... It was released May 19th, just a couple weeks ago. Directed by Ridley Scott, written by John Logan and Dante Harper, with story credits by Jack Paglin and Michael Green.
I want to hear a little bit about them from you.
John
Logan, for sure, I want to hear about.
Well, hey, John Logan, he's a go-to for some of these big directors. He's been nominated for Oscars. He's a real work-for-hire guy. He never writes anything that he actually gives a shit about. Except for, I think, Penny Dreadful, that TV show. He created that.
Okay.
But, I mean, most of his movies are just enormous movies where the director has an idea to do something and he's hired to put it together. So he wrote The Aviator for Scorsese and Hugo. So he's worked with Scorsese a couple times.
Okay.
He wrote Sweeney Todd. He adapted that for Tim Burton. He has writing credits on Skyfall and Spectre, the last two Bond
that's
movies.
where yeah, okay, yeah.
He previously worked for Ridley Scott, was nominated for an Academy Award for Gladiator.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah.
Huh.
He wrote The Last Samurai for Ed Zwick. He wrote Any Given Sunday for Oliver Stone. He just works with big directors. He only makes enormous movies.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
Boy, because even Skyfall is like in scope and epic structure like the biggest Bond movie that's ever made. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this guy does.
Yeah.
And Alien Covenant is actually small for John Logan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I really feel about John Logan, but you know, he's a guy.
Well, but he the credits you named. I mean, he's pretty competent writer. I mean,
he's a pro.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
He's a pro. Lindelof is an artist. John Logan is a pro.
There you go. Well said.
Story, I will say, Michael Green. I wish he was given more input or something, because he's a writer I've been a fan of for a long time. He is he's kind of having a moment right now. He got his start on TV. He was a staff writer on things like Everwood and Heroes, and he created the show Kings, which only ran one season on NBC with Ian McShane, which is really fantastic. And most recently co-created American Gods on Starz, which is a big recommend from me.
Yeah, I didn't want to burst your bubble there. I watched it on your recommend.
Oh, really?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
You didn't like it?
It's like Hannibal on steroids, and that's saying something, because Hannibal is already on steroids. It's a little much for me. Okay. I didn't think it was bad at all. I just couldn't get into it. I mean, is 2 episodes enough? Yeah.
You get it.
But I'm not going to say don't watch it. I mean,
I love it. It's one of my favorite shows right now.
Right.
But he's having a moment right now because Alien Covenant is one of 4 films with a Michael Green writing credit that are coming out this year, and they're all big movies. He had a writing credit on Logan. Oh,
great movie.
He worked on Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, wow.
And the aforementioned Murder on the Orient Express.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's a big guy, but he only has a story credit on this one. So
I wish he would have done more.
I agree. I like Michael Green because he has a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the budget, $97 million, so they gave him less money than in Prometheus. I actually think that's smart.
It was interesting to me that the budget was less. I was surprised.
Yeah. Box office so far of 165.4, which has been a real disappointment for 20th Century Fox. Yeah, it's kind of a bomb a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's been out for 2 weeks and it hasn't even doubled its budget. So yeah.
Bad.
I agree.
I do have here. You ready for this, Hank?
Mm-hmm.
The top 10 so far in 2017.
Oh,
let's check in on this year's box office.
Fascinating. Okay.
Can you guess?
I'll try. This is going to be weird. Top 10 so far. Has Guardians been out long enough?
Already, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is the number 2 film of the year.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that Wonder Woman will be there eventually, but not yet.
Eventually, in a couple days. It's
think?
It's at number 12 right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
After 3 days of release.
Was Doctor Strange this year? Or
No, that's last year.
All right, then help me out a little bit. I've seen a lot of little movies this year. I didn't see a lot of huge movies, so I don't.
Number 10 just came out, part of a big franchise. It's not doing as well as some of the earlier ones, but still,
Fast and the Furious.
No.
Oh.
Just came out, like a week ago.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Not telling it to me.
Number 9, a movie I suggested we do for the podcast because it was a secret sequel.
Oh, wow. That made the top 10?
So far.
Split.
Yeah, that's right.
Great movie.
Very good movie.
Very good movie.
Yeah. Number 8.
I love when I do that because sometimes I do need you to reel me in.
Yeah.
Not often, but you're right. But it's close to great.
It's very good.
It's very, very good.
Yeah. Number 8. Hey, it's Monkey. I don't know.
King Kong.
Yeah, Kong Skull Island over there.
I love that I said I didn't see any big movies. I saw it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I don't know if I told you that.
It's on my Netflix queue.
It was very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 7, we've got here Alec Baldwin's in it.
Boss Baby?
That's correct.
Look at me.
Mm-hmm. Number 6 is the first film in years that I've seen more than once in the theaters.
Get Out.
That's right.
Very happy about that. That's wonderful.
Number 6. So I'm so proud of that movie.
Good for you, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. Number 5, an animated superhero movie.
Power Rangers?
That's not animated.
No, it's not, but it's based on anime. It's
not based on animation. The original is live action.
I'm so old. Yeah. I thought that was a cartoon before.
No, live action.
An animated superhero movie in the theaters?
Yeah.
This is going to be something silly. I don't know.
The Lego Batman movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They love those Lego movies.
They do. Number 4, a franchise still just owning, and we've got to do it soon.
Oh. Can I get a hint?
You mentioned it already.
I don't know.
The Fate of the Furious.
Oh. I thought when I mentioned it, you said it wasn't in the top 10 at all. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Got it, yeah.
Number 3 is a superhero movie.
Well, I already said Guardians, and Wonder Woman ain't there yet. And did I see this?
Yep.
Logan.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 2 Guardians of the Galaxy, and what's number 1? What's left?
Beauty and the Beast.
Correct.
Look at me.
Beauty and the Beast.
I knew it. Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast has made over $500 million just domestically.
Wow.
That's a big hit.
That will go unseen by me.
Me too, but I mean...
Oh, really? You're not going to buckle down?
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you take the bullet. You know, I don't know.
I don't care.
I know. I don't care either.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm glad everyone's having a good time.
Okay.
Why was that funny?
Because you're like America's weird uncle. I hope everyone has a good time.
Have a good time, kids. Get a large popcorn for me.
Yeah. All right, Alien Covenant. I saw in theaters. I got 2 trailers. Only 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it at BAM, so they don't do that many trailers.
Oh, you saw Alien Covenant at BAM?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny. I got like 1 billion trailers when I saw it. Wow.
I got My Cousin Rachel with Rachel Weisz and Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, which looks great.
I disagree, but it's Edgar Wright, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
He's 5 for 5.
What? The trailer...
No, he's 4 for 4. This is his 5th.
What? Tell me.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Never saw it.
The World's End.
Saw it. No, didn't see it.
You gotta see those. And Scott Pilgrim.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy. I haven't seen those other 3. Baby Driver just looks like the trailer made it look almost identical to Drive.
Oh, but it won't be because Edgar Wright's got a style.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I did make that joke though in theaters. I whispered, "Is this a prequel to Drive?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
Yeah, he's a baby. He's little
He's a
Driver.
Boss baby.
Yeah. All right. Now, Alien Covenant comes out. It's got all the Ridley trademarks.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Well, you're going to do the plot.
Oh, right. I'll do the plot. Hey, so there's a ship, and it's all couples. And they're trying to terraform some kind of planet, and they want to, start a new civilization. They're on the ship Covenant, the titular ship. And, they get a distress signal. It's at a planet that's like 9 years closer than the one they were going to. So they're like, let's check this bad boy out.
Well, they all wake up because they hit a big storm, a neutrino burst.
Yeah. James Franco dies right away.
Talk about what is
going on?
I agree.
Listen, I love when James Franco just shows up and stuff. It's sort of like Hollywood's Big Joke. but it's distracting because it's right at the beginning of this movie. It's an important character, and he dies. He's the captain of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they're carrying 2,000 people, we should say, in that ship.
Yeah. But the only characters that matter are the people that are working up front. It's
right.
Billy Crudup becomes the new captain of the ship. He's just a real whiny pussy this entire movie. What a wimp this piece of shit is. I hate this character.
Yeah, he's bad. Yeah.
I couldn't stand him.
You didn't mention the prologue, though.
What's the prologue? Oh, right. You didn't mention... Whatever. There's a prologue...
Well, it's important.
Yeah, there's a prologue with Michael Fassbender as David from the first movie.
Best part of the movie.
You're right. It kind of is the best scene of the movie. Yeah, it's David from the first movie, Michael Fassbender, the android, talking to his maker, Wayland. Guy Pearce, finally not in old age makeup, so he's good. And it's a great little scene. It's like Damon Lindelof came in to write that one scene.
Yeah, and we get where he takes his name from.
Yeah, predictably,
Michelangelo's
Michelangelo's David. Yeah.
Well, predictably, yeah, true. Predictably, but also another little taste of light culture there.
Yeah,
I say light because it's the most.
Because if you ask someone to name a statue, that's the only one they'll know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it was a Final Jeopardy recently. The answer was David. And I was like, that's Final Jeopardy? Get real.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I watch Jeopardy every day now. It's a thing.
I watch it occasionally.
No, I'm on point. I'm ready.
I'm pretty good.
Hey, speaking of recent Jeopardy champion Lisa Schlitt, if you're out there, I'm in love with you. And I tried to ask you out on Facebook. It didn't work. Not really, but I did contact her to say how great she is. Yeah, I'm obsessed with this Lisa Schlitt.
Okay.
Yeah. So, back to the movie.
Yeah, sorry. So go ahead. Go ahead. So they're flying. They land on this thing.
They land on a planet. They get face hugged to high heaven, and and so a couple of them die, and then there's just aliens running rampant. Meanwhile, David finds them. They have another David, basically. Right. Fassbender playing an American android, a more advanced android named... Walter. Which, I hate that name.
Why? Who cares what his name is?
I don't know. If you're going to name a character Walter, he better not look like Michael Fassbender.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Walter to me...
Walter White?
I don't know. It seems like it should be a fat guy. It's like a loser name. That's why his name is Walter on
Apologies
fucking Breaking
to any
Bad.
of our listeners who are named Walter. You're cool.
No, you're not. You're a loser. It sounds like it should be like the name of a penis. Like, you know, some like douchey guys name their penises. Like,
yeah.
It should be Walter. Like, It sounds like a big girthy penis.
Logan Marshall Green names his Walter.
Yeah, I think so.
Colt Pratt's name.
Colt Pratt's. To those of you that skipped that Dirty Dancing TV movie episode, you did the right thing. Okay.
Yeah, David shows up all looking Virgil from Dante's Inferno. He does, man.
Good ref. All right.
Yeah, because you like the Gustave Doré etchings, right? We've talked about Gustave Doré.
Love him.
That's clearly influencing the production design in this movie, and he is all about leading them into hell.
Yeah, and so he takes them into a cavernous hideout, and he's what is it called?
Well,
he's making aliens, basically.
I mean, it does pick up where Prometheus left off. In Prometheus, at the end of the movie, Noomi Rapace repairs David. They fly to the planet where the engineers are, and David fucking wipes them all out.
Yeah,
because he hates humanity. He kills Elizabeth Shaw, and basically just goes to town, becoming like a fucking Victor Frankenstein, trying to create a species that will wipe out every human on Earth.
It's more Dr. Moreau.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, he's making aliens, and pretty soon Billy Crudup finds out about it. He cries because he's such a little wimp, this guy. Ugh.
And he's the poor attempt at the religious person in the movie.
Billy Crudup's face is just glistening with tears this entire movie.
He's really Andrew Garfielding it.
He's worse.
Really? You think?
Yeah, I don't think Andrew Garfield's that whiny. He just has the head of a baby. I mean, I don't know.
Well, let's get to the cast a little bit before we get to the severely underwritten characters.
Yeah, that's a problem. But I don't have a problem with the cast. The cast almost reminded me of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, where everyone is good, but they're not really playing anyone I'm interested in.
I agree. But that's where the underwriting comes in. So then you get Brie Larson, you get Danny McBride.
Brie Larson?
Oh, God, I do that all the time. I always confuse Catherine Watterson with Brie Larson.
That's insane.
Don't they look alike?
No.
Okay, that's hilarious that I just said that. Yeah, and idiotic. You get Danny fucking McBride. I was so psyched to have him in an Alien movie. I'm thinking we'd got Hudson all over again. No.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I was excited to see him too, but he doesn't. He's not. He's funny a couple times, but.
And we get an indie actress that I've been in love with for about 5 years, Amy Seimetz.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I love her, and she's not given much to do.
She's given nothing to do.
Yeah.
She's given the indignity of being married to a Danny McBride character. How about one of my favorite indie actors is in this?
Who?
The great Damien Bichir.
Oh, he's not one. He is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had any feeling about him at all.
I'm a big fan of Damien Bichir.
I don't think I could name one fucking thing I've seen him in.
That's not true. He's excellent in The Hateful Eight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right, but that's the main thing, right?
No, but he's been in a ton of stuff. He's been nominated for an Oscar for A Better Life.
Never saw it.
He's great as Fidel Castro in Steven Soderbergh's Che.
I haven't finished it.
Oh.
It's 4 hours long. Yeah.
And my favorite, The Bridge on FX. He was the male lead with Diane Krieger. Yeah.
Oh, and in this movie, he's also showing their Sign of the Times. He's in a gay couple relationship.
Oh, is he? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, him and his husband, the I almost said the black guy. I don't know who he is, so yeah, the black guy.
A Sign of the Times in like the year 2100.
Yeah, but yeah, they have a gay couple, so that's nice. Yeah,
it is nice.
His husband dies right. His husband's the guy I think dies pretty quick. I don't know. They all die pretty quick.
Yeah, a lot of them die quick, and Billy Crudup almost dies, but Catherine Waterston saves him, which prompts him to cry. God, Billy Crudup, get it together!
His eyes are all crudded up.
Oh, good one. And listen, Billy Crudup's an actor I like.
Yeah.
He sucks
he can
in
be
this.
Yeah, Billy Crudup has been in some good stuff, right?
Almost Famous.
Right.
He plays Russell. Jesus' Son is a movie I like a lot.
I've heard a lot about it. I never saw it.
Yeah, based on the Dennis Johnson book.
He's very good in a movie that nobody except me and no one saw called Blood Ties with Clive Owen.
Look at you, Blood Ties. Yeah, he pops up in Spotlight.
Oh, he'll be playing the Flash's dad in the new Justice League movie.
Why? I am so sick of this. Listen. Oh, you know what else he's great in, by the way? Big Fish. Underrated Tim Burton.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah. Billy Crudup is playing the Flash's dad. And, it's one thing to have these characters, but, like, you're casting, like, major actors as Nicole Kidman isn't she, like, Wonder Woman's mom or something?
No, she was supposed to be, but she pulled out.
Oh, really? Okay. Who else? Who's playing, like, Aquaman's mom? That's someone.
I don't know, man. I think you're right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I could tell you in Wonder Woman, it's Connie Nielsen, and then her aunt is played by Robin Wright.
Wright, sure. Yeah. But all these characters, I mean, we saw Diane Lane as Martha, and Kevin Costner. They keep casting like major actors as these superheroes' moms and dads in the fucking DC universe, and then you look up the cast of the Justice League movies, and they pop up in those too. Yeah, I can't even imagine it. What room is there in the Avengers to like check in with Hawkeye's dad? There's barely room for Hawkeye in that movie.
You got that right. Yeah, we get his wife at least, played by the great Linda Cardellini.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's true. I do love that piece. I'm looking up Aquaman real quick. Oh no, Nicole Kidman's Aquaman's mom. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's funny. So she switched playing moms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Wonder Woman, but went over to Aquaman. All right.
Fucking ridiculous, these DC movies. But hey, excited about that Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Covenant, like I said, it's got all the Ridley Scott traits. And I'll tell you my two favorites. My two favorite Ridley Scott-isms in this movie. The chest bursters are too cute. It's a big problem. Anytime an alien pops out of a chest in this Alien Covenant, I'm like, hey, look at the little guy.
I don't remember. I saw it 2 weeks ago, but I don't remember thinking they were cute. But you're saying they're not like hideous.
They're adorable.
Oh, all right. So you wouldn't mind getting your face hugged by one of these babies? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
not going to go that far.
No, but there's the scene where one of them's like running around in that like med bay, and it's like, look at him, he's fast.
This was like when you said in the first Alien when he pops out, and you're like, he pops out and he says, "Ain't I a stinker?" Yeah,
that's what it's like. How about the adorable part where the chest burster pops out of Crudup? And I'm happy to see him dead. And then
right.
Fucking Fassbender as David, he puts his arms up really slowly, and then the fucking alien does it too.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're playing the fucking hokey pokey.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Oh, it's very. I didn't think of that. Very, very cute.
Yeah.
Let's. Wait,
can I just give my second Ridley Scottism of the
film?
Oh
yeah, no, please. I want to hear it.
It's the third act. It's the most intense part of the movie. What does Ridley Scott stick in there? Let me see some nipples.
Oh. When is this?
Hey. There's an alien running around the Covenant. Everyone's dying. Cut to shower scene. Let me see those boobs.
Right. I forgot about that. That's pretty terrible scene.
It's ridiculous.
That's funny that you call that a Ridley Scott-ism, though. You're just saying that because of Alien and Sigourney.
He likes cute chest bursters as opposed to terrifying ones, and nipples in the third act. That was my only note, Henry. I brought a notebook to take notes in this movie, and the one note I wrote was nipples in the third act.
Nipples in the third act.
Yeah.
I prefer to have at least one nipple showing on a cute face hugger.
Yeah. Nipple. That's gonna be my.
He doesn't sound like that because I've seen him interviewed many times because he likes doing a lot of interviews, but I want him to sound like that, so that's how he sounds.
He sounds like Ian Holm, actually.
Right. You're actually right. He's very quiet and understated, but I don't care.
I would like to write a book about Ridley Scott, like a survey of all his films, and I will call it Nipples in the Third Act, the films of Ridley Scott.
I think even in Blade Runner, you get, if not nipples, you get pretty tight-skinned shirts in there for some Daryl Hannah action.
I'm ready for that. Oh, DH is in that.
No, well, not yet. She won't be in 2040.
Daryl Hannah, she's my designated hitter. That's such a stupid joke.
Actually, it's pretty funny.
All right.
It's pretty creative.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Alien Covenant. What else you got?
Yeah, right. It was a disappointment, to say the least.
Hey, wait. No. I'll say this. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Neither do I.
I think it's a worthy addition to the Alien franchise. I think it's better than Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection.
I agree with half of that.
I knew you would, and I think it's only a disappointment on the level that it's a sequel to Prometheus, which I really liked.
Right.
I think if Alien Covenant came out in 2012, when the last 3 Alien movies had been Alien versus Predators and Alien Resurrection.
We'd love it.
I love this.
Yeah.
But it's a little boring. It really takes a while to get going. The alien is only aboard the Covenant in the 3rd act, and after that it kind of picks up, and I'm into the action at the end, and I kind of wish, if we're not doing Prometheus, I kind of wish that was just the whole movie.
Yeah, I just thought it really missed out big time on the characters. That was a big problem for me. The story, I thought, was the best. Let's just, to use your phrase, let's just call a spade right away. And this
it's time for calling a spade, the new segment.
Right, time for calling a spade, and the Spade Award goes to Michael Fassbender. He is the only part of this movie that is amazing. He is fucking great.
I was going to save this for MVP, but Michael Fassbender is a great actor, and this is one of his best performances. Somehow, in this pretty nothing movie, Michael Fassbender is just destroying the entire time. And I'll tell you what, it's he's playing 2 characters, so that's opportunity. But a lot of times when actors, even good actors, are playing 2 characters in a movie, they make them like diametrical opposites. I'm
looking at you, Edward Norton, in Leaves of Grass.
Yeah, I'm even looking at you, Nick Cage, in Adaptation, and I love that movie.
Yeah, and I love Edward Norton.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm in no way knocking Nicolas Cage's performance. It's just a difficult thing to do, to create 2 characters that are noticeably different, but still similar enough. And when you're doing a movie like this, where at some point you're going to trade places and you're not always sure which is going to be which, you need that. And I think the best performance like this of all time is Jeremy Irons in Dead Ringers.
Oh, good call, man. Great call.
Those are 2 characters that are different. It's Jeremy Irons playing 2 different characters, but they're twins and they're connected. And that's what we're looking at here.
And a big recommendation on that movie, man. David Cronenberg, one of my favorite filmmakers and one of his best movies.
If not his best.
I agree.
Yeah, it's in the conversation.
Yeah.
Fucking Fassbender's amazing in this movie, and the clear MVP.
The clear MVP by a mile. My 2 favorite scenes in the movie, really, and I say favorite, but they're the only 2 scenes I truly actually liked, were the opening scene with Guy Pearce and the closing of the movie, which I actually do have to give Scott and whoever the fuck wrote it, of 4 people. It is fucking bleak.
Yeah,
it is bleak shit.
I did know. I guessed it.
Oh, I guessed it too. You mean you guessed that it wasn't Walter on the ship? Yeah,
the second Fassbender walked onto that ship, I knew it was David.
So did you mean you knew? Yes, yeah, right. So do I did too. I was disappointed that I knew, because I think that's a very bad editing cut, because they show the fight between the 2 of them and then they just leave it in the air, and it's kind of like, okay, well, we know who's going to win that fight.
Absolutely. I do agree with that. It's a poor directing choice and possibly writing choice. You can't blame Fassbender for that, because he's still giving the same great performance he gave in the rest of the movie.
And so even though I knew that was what was going on, I did not fully expect the ending to be so fucking bleak.
When Catherine Waterston is in her space pod and realizes what's happening, like before she falls asleep, she realizes that it's not Walter, it's David.
Yeah,
that is a great performance from her.
I agree. It is terrifying.
Yeah,
it's very unsettling, and I'm actually glad they did that, because it could have pulled off, I expected how by the numbers this movie really is. I expected just a feel-good ending or something, and they do not.
Hey, what do you know Catherine Waterston from?
Inherent Vice.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know her from too, but I didn't like Inherent Vice. So,
I loved it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd watch it again. A 2.5-hour comedy by by a great filmmaker, but
it's not by a great filmmaker.
Ooh, really?
Who wrote Inherent Vice, the book?
Thomas Pynchon.
Yeah, that's who it's by.
Shots fired.
Paul Thomas Anderson's my favorite filmmaker. That's not a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're doing with him what I do with Punch Drunk Love, except he wrote that.
Yeah, well, that's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. You can't deny it. It feels like a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But, whatever. This Catherine Waterston, I didn't recognize her when I was watching this movie. I thought she was a newcomer to me, but I have seen her on Boardwalk Empire and in Inherent Vice and in Steve Jobs. And, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Didn't see that.
She's also the star of the new Steven Soderbergh film. She's the female lead in that.
She also won an Oscar last year for Room.
Shut the fuck up. That's Brie Larson. But I'll tell you what, I was watching this movie not knowing that I'd seen her in shit, and that was one of my takeaways from this movie, was she's a star.
I wish she had more to do, though. She's not given enough. She's it's one of those movies where they just throw you right the fuck in, and they don't give you enough like they give you with Noomi Rapace, and I don't think she has the presence of Sigourney Weaver, who you feel is underwritten in the first Alien.
Yeah.
But I think Sigourney Weaver holds the screen much better. I don't feel that way.
I think she holds the screen.
Yeah.
I think if you popped her into the Noomi Rapace role in Prometheus, she might be better.
Oh, I don't agree with that. But all that aside, I felt like I wanted to see her character Daniels do more and be more, but there's too much fucking chaos going on around her all the time. And it's just silliness. But I wanted to also point out in that last sequence, I loved the throwback, again, another classical music thing, when David is walking into the colonists thing and he's going to fuck them up. They're playing the Wagner Entry of the Gods into Valhalla.
Yes, which he plays on piano in the first scene.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great touch.
It's a great touch because in the beginning, Guy Pearce says something like, oh, that's not really suited for the piano. And so then David is now triumphed, and he requests that to be played by Mother.
A full orchestra.
Yeah, and it's powerful.
Yeah.
It's a great choice.
It's great. Are we done? Hey, also, I liked seeing the Ridley Scott lettering back. In the title card.
Oh, yeah, right. Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, that was cool.
The slow burn of the title card. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that was neat.
All right, and that was in Prometheus as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give this movie a 3.
I'm giving it 3, and I'm only giving it 3 because of Michael Fassbender and the opening and closing sequences.
Okay. I think it's a 3.
It's not a bad movie, but I don't even know that I wouldn't watch it again.
I'll definitely watch this again.
Yeah, it was just a big disappointment, but it's a 3-star.
Yeah.
MVP Fassbender. LVP for me is going to Ridley Scott. He's listening to I read a whole bunch of shit on this, and it's basically comes down to he thought he fucked up.
He's listening to the nerds.
Yeah, and it's annoying.
Never listen to the nerds.
Just don't do it, man. Now you're going to do that. You're 75 years old. Now you're going to start. I mean, don't do it. There are people who appreciate your thoughtfulness when you do these movies. You don't have to do that, So LVP. And also
DC listened to the nerds once before. They made a movie that was insanely faithful to the comic book. I mean, word for word, line for line, shot for shot, a superhero movie that everyone remembers, Green Lantern.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Watchmen.
No, I mean, that too. I mean, whatever, Watchmen.
You said shot for shot.
Watchmen's an odd beast, but
it sure is.
Green Lantern is a movie that is just taken directly from the Jeff Johns comics.
It is.
And it's a piece of shit. It works on the page, doesn't work on the film.
Awful.
Don't listen to nerds. They don't know what's right for them.
Gotcha. Who's your LVP?
I'll go with Ridley also.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 2 count on the superheroes.
Okay.
We got James Franco.
Spider-Man, sure.
Yeah. And he was in the Green Hornet, which I never saw.
Oh, I saw it. I don't remember him in that.
Played a character named Danny Clear.
Okay.
I don't know. And Billy Crudup, obviously playing the Flash's dad.
And Dr. Manhattan and Watchmen.
That's right. So that is Alien. You want to do the rankings?
Yeah. Can we include the Alien versus Predator movies?
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So there's going to be 8. Should we count it down from 8 to 1?
Yeah. Do you want to do the thing where we do you, me, or do you want to just do all of us at once? And
Let's
then
go you, me.
All right. Number 1.
No, let's start from 8.
Okay. All right, you screwed me up with this other thing, but I got my pen here so I can keep track. Number 8, Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Oh, okay. I'm going Alien versus Predator.
Okay.
Just regular. Yeah.
Number 7, Alien Resurrection.
I'm also Alien Resurrection.
Oh. Number 6, Alien versus Predator.
Number 6, Alien 3.
Okay. I figured. Number 5, Alien Covenant.
Number 5, Alien Covenant.
Okay. Number 4, Alien 3.
Number 4, Alien versus Predator Requiem.
You're a fucking maniac. Yeah, that's a better movie than Alien 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right. Well, I guess our top 3 are going to be in line somewhat.
Yeah.
Number 3, Prometheus.
Same.
Number 2, Aliens.
Okay, so that makes your number 1 Alien.
That's right, and yours will be flipped, right?
I'm gonna flip them.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
I thought about it long and hard.
I get it.
Aliens number 1, Alien number 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And if you want to hear us talk more about the Alien versus Predator movies, which we skipped in covering Alien, it's only because you can go back and listen to our coverage of those. On one of our episodes covers Predator 2 and Alien versus Predator, and another episode covering Alien versus Predator, Requiem, and Predators.
With our guest Aaron Farinelli.
Correct.
And it's a very fun episode, so you should check that out if you haven't heard it yet.